still on the dyno with the red car. It had a bunch of issues that we're still fixing. Right now the wideband went out, so we'll see. Maybe might get my car done today. If not, I get to drive the 20B FD home, which I'll probably not get my car done just so I can drive that thing home. That thing's sweet. I mean, I don't know if you guys seen it, but it's a right-hand drive FD. I got imported by Shinko Classics. We swapped it here, so you put a 20B in it, 20B single turbo. You can't go cooler than this, basically. So I love to drive this thing home. About to finish the hood pins and then relocate the fuse box because it was touching the radiator. That's why he put it, so I have to move it somewhere it doesn't touch, and then I can drive this car home. So I can just go street tune it, get better drivability out of the car. But the main reason is if I can drive the car, because I mean, I've never driven a 20B FD before, so that'll be fun. This is the one that we wired Haltech Elite 750 to it before Deals Gap. So now we just finished the new dump tube because the whole setup came up from a left-hand drive car, and because this one's right-hand drive, the dump tube went straight through where the steering column is now. So I had to redo it through the front of the car. Pain in the ass, just got it done. So now that we fixed that, we're gonna do some base pulls tonight just to get a reading. But tomorrow we're actually gonna do the actual power pulls. For now, I just cut off 5 pounds. I'm pretty sure it's cause we probably put a boost cut on this thing. Let me see. Boost cut. Not really. Finally back on the dyno, about to start doing the base pulls on the 20B FD. What I found out yesterday is that the dead times were completely off. I was able to get the car to like just go and just like basically just rev up and go into a slight boost. The chart was a little off. Like I noticed it was like demanding too much fuel. So I checked the dead times, and from the base map he put on, they're way off. Just because he's running 550 stock injectors in the primaries in 2200, so he didn't really check the dead times. Luckily, I have 550 dead times. Yeah, I had the dead times for 550s, got tuned before on 550s, and ID 2200, so I should be able to just plug them in and be good to go. So I have to do that first. It's really easy in the software to do it. You just go down here so you go in the ECU navigator, and then right here injector settings, click on injector settings, and then stage 1 is primaries and stage 2 is secondaries. So the flow on the primaries are 550s. Dead times, I have to just adjust these numbers. Make sure the 550s are correct, and then the secondaries are 2200s. It's supposed to be 2150, I think 2180 instead of 22s. Just like this, just to do that. And then the dead times, make sure these line up 100%, because if not, the injector just won't be shooting right. then I can actually start tuning the car. Goal is just to get the car to go smoothly into boost, because the car had a Microtech. We upgraded to Elite Haltech, but now just to make sure the car was 100% perfect. It was making 600 to the wheels before, but just because it's a whole new setup in the car, we're just gonna go for like close to 500, take it off the dyno, and we'll be good with that until we do bigger primary injectors, and just little things here and there, like we need to address the cooling issues, because last night the car got hot on the dyno. This was the front mount, so I had to just mess with that a little bit. So as you can see, the first one says 2 milliseconds, and it's my dead times say 2.320. So I have to just raise this one up, and then the next one is 1.5, minus 1.62. Third, we're at 1250. This one's just 12. So they're almost, that's why the car was able to like just kind of get up there, because it's almost close to it. This one doesn't go with 6. No, so okay, so 10. No, that's right, Okay, 14 volts. We're at, this one's at 8.8. This one's at 1.7. So that's when it starts like getting a little weird, because the high end of the car you start making more voltage, and it'll throw it off a little bit. So it's that easy. Just plug it in, and then you have dead time, so you can actually start tuning the car. 1.0. So the primaries are actually on point, so the car is actually able to drive smooth, but it just wouldn't go into boost. So those are good. Now I can actually start tuning the car.
Dropping on boost.
So we had the same issue yesterday with the Black FD with the EFR and the dyno, that it's weird. They both have front mounts, and they both have Racing Beat catbacks. One pull and we're over 200 degrees. You can see like 213, so you have to let it cool down again to like 190 or 180 to then do another pull. Okay, now you just keep heat cycling the engine. It's not really good for the engine, plus you don't make power when you're hot. But right now, I mean, it's ramping up pretty smoothly. It's only 8 pounds. I think it made like almost like 400 and something at 8 pounds. So for now it's good. Now we have to just adjust the fuel a little bit higher for the higher boost, and slowly start working up the boost control little by little till we get to like 14 pounds minimum.
Super slow-mo.
Monster. This thing picks up really fast. The boost curve is not even aggressive. Like when we set up the boost control right now, you see everything's like 0. That means the boost control is not even working. So because we don't want it to go past 13 pounds. So what I'm doing is I'm closing the boost control a little bit. 100% is fully closed. So I'm closing it to 70% and then opening it. That way it kind of helps build a torque curve. But after the third pull, building a boost, because it blew a coupler off. So, I mean, she'll see what it's making at 14 pounds, but the car's still stock fuel lines, and I think it's stock primary rail, so I don't want to push it too much. So I think 11 to 12 pounds is like gonna be the icing, the cake on this car. And also, as you can tell, it still has the it's not overheating, but it could be just from sitting on a dyno. It just runs a little hot. 210 is not really too bad, but you shouldn't be pushing it past 210. Like, just let it cool down and get back on it. But this being my first 20B that I tuned, is going pretty good. I haven't cracked the plate, I haven't detonated, I haven't done shit. Just alright, so we found out we had 2 loose hoses the whole time. So before I do anything, I'm just gonna go back to the boost control settings and turn them all the way down, just in case it was leaking before it came out for some reason. Now that it's not leaking, I have these boost settings code, it doesn't just go crazy and overboost. So we just did the last pull, 10 pounds. It might be a stock engine, we don't know, but it did 399 to the wheels, 370 torque, which is like amazing. We're fucking making a lot of torque, and I mean that's we're gonna leave it like that because the car stock fuel lines and the engine wasn't built out, so we don't know how far it is. But 400 at 10 pounds, you're basically you're getting it pretty well. So that's it for this car.